Hello and welcome back to Dragonflower Gardens. Today we are discussing the manufactured energy crisis. Got some notes. First thing I want to address is Europe. Okay, Europe looks like they're going to be having a very cold winter. Looks like they're going to have some issues with some natural gas. Looks like they're going to have some real problems in some major cities. So let's start with Paris. Paris, the city of lights, the city of love, the city who has no lights on. Okay. It's extremely concerning because when there's no lights in a city like Paris with a population like that, there's bound to be some hooligans starting some mischief. And we could only imagine what horrible things take place in the dark. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move over to England. So, England's got a new prime minister, and she's got this great idea on how she's going to deal with the energy crisis over there. She wants to quantitatively ease. She wants to produce more money so she can magically get more gas and security for her country and all of this when there isn't any. You can't just make something appear that isn't there. So that's a bit of a problem. So it won't matter how much she decides to print, it's not going to solve the problem of the fact that there's just not enough gas for the people to stay warm over there this winter. So let's hop over to Germany real quick and talk about what's going on with them. Okay, so over in Germany, they have really, really cold winters. Like, pretty much the entire area, cold winter. So Germany is not getting the amount of natural gas that they need to keep their citizens warm for this winter, and they're already cutting power in certain places over there to the point where, the way I hear it, this is the way I hear it now, that you could be fined for having a hot shower. I don't know, we'll look into that one, okay? But what we do know is that small little towns on the outsides of the big cities are gathering as much wood as they possibly can to have communal heating areas during winter in Germany. This is what they're doing. They're gathering up all this wood and setting it aside so they'll be able to keep their people warm because it's really, really, really cold over there in the winter. Like, really cold. So they know that, so they're trying to prepare for it, and they know that there is a gas shortage and that they're not going to get the natural gas. So there's some problems over there, okay? So let's move on over to India. India has took a look at the UN's plan to deal with the natural gas shortages, okay? And they're like, no, that's not quite going to work, because we had already went through the transformation of trying to do the sustainable energy, and that tanked us. So what did they call it? They said it's load shifting. India's punking you, okay? So let's go ahead and we're going to move over to the U.S. and we're going to talk about some energy issues over here in the U.S. So one of the first ones I want to talk about, and I know we've had some rolling blackouts and we've had some issues in Texas and a few other places, but the place I want to talk about in particular today would be California. Yes. So California, I want to talk about California. I want to talk about California and how they're shutting power off during a heat wave. This concerns me for elderly, for children, for pets. Let's tell you, don't leave your pet or your kid in the car when you go into the store. You know, they can overheat. So I'm a little confused why California thinks that just because they're in their houses with this heat wave right now and they're cutting the power, that they're not going to overheat. California's got this great idea. They're going to go net zero. So what does that mean? That means that no more energy that's being produced by any carbon-based anything is no longer allowed. As of the same with their plan with the cars. They want to phase out engine combustion cars before 2030. I find it extremely interesting that not only the timing of all of this that happened, but what could be that we know is behind this. This is why, in my opinion, I think this is a manufactured crisis. Though even though it is manufactured, it's still a crisis. There are still thousands of people all over in Europe right now that are going to be suffered due to the sanctions and not getting the natural gas. Okay, so our boots on the ground, we've only heard back from one person in England, and they have confirmed that their power bill has doubled. They have also told us that most of the restaurants are shutting down because they can't afford the power bills. So the mom and pop little restaurants are way to the wayside. We're still waiting to hear back from our boots on the ground in Germany and also in Paris. So Godspeed to our friends over there and to all our freedom lovers. Remember that you are an ant and not a grasshopper. Do your due diligence and be prepared for the winter, because the government is not going to take care of you. Only you are going to take care of you.